Hi, everybody. I'm back again. Um, this time I wanted to go into a parable. This is something that the Most High had me write a long time ago. It was basically something that tells you what's gonna happen if you don't watch how you treat people. But I love the way it came across. It came to me in a dream, and then I had to wake up and write it down. And so I'm gonna go ahead and start this thing off. And it says, there was a certain town where a large amount of the fathers were wealthy and dying, but they had only one son, and he would be alone once his father died. The fathers, knowing this, sent word for the friends of their sons to join them at their deathbeds, according to the number of men, for this town had great wealth. All over the town, the friends of the young men who were to inherit began to show up at the deathbeds of the son's father, according to the number of men, for this town had great wealth. While this occurred, a stranger entered the town, one who feared the Most High God. And he was asked to become the friend of one of the young men who was due to inherit at his father's death. For they had run out of suitable friends according to the number of men. All over the town, the men began to bless their sons and call forth for the friends of their sons. Once there at the father's deathbed, the young men were all promised the same thing. If you will be a brother to my son and stand by his side in all things, and never desert him, nor leave him to stand alone in battle, and when you have finished all, I will reward you greatly. The young men were puzzled at this, and all to a man according to the number of men said no, because you cannot pay. And each one reasoned within himself, was not this man upon his deathbed? How then can he know what I have done, and how can he keep his word? They gathered at the center of town, and there was much discussion. Finally, the stranger who feared the Most High God came upon a crowd of young men and asked after their discussion. And one of the young men told him what the fathers had asked, and how they as one man had said no. Because the man was upon his deathbed, how then could he know what they had done, and how could he keep his word? The stranger who feared the Most High God replied, I too was called upon to make such a choice. But I accepted and said yes, for I have never had a brother. And as one man they asked him, why? Saying that the father could not pay. And if he could not pay, how could he keep his word? That, my friends, is simple, said the stranger who feared the Most High God. His son will know if I have been a true brother to him. His son will know that I never deserted him, nor left him to stand alone in battle. And when I have finished all, his son will keep his father's word and reward me. And when they had heard this, they sought to lay hold on him, that they might rend him. Unknown to them, the sons of the fathers had also gathered themselves, and were seeking out their friends to ask them why they had said no according to the number of men, for this town had great wealth. And the one son, seeing that his new brother was set upon, rallied his army of sons and withstood the men, and would not allow them to touch the man. And there was great wrath. And the one son and his army of sons slew the wicked men, until only the stranger who feared the Most High God remained. And when the stranger saw this great thing, he marveled, and asked his new brother, why did you do this thing for my sake? And as one man the sons replied, our father also bade us that we should stand by your side in all things, and never desert you, nor leave you to stand alone in battle. And when you have finished all, I will reward you greatly. For these dead men made their choice and said no, and have hated you because you were wise and lowly of spirit and wanted a brother. And now they have their reward, and you will have yours. So it is, and it will be with all men of this generation when the Son returns. Many have been called, few have been chosen. Now Revelation 2:23 says, I will kill her children with death, and all the assemblies will know that I am he who searches the minds and hearts. I will give to each one of you according to your deeds.